I waited longer to do this tier list, partially because they made changes to Wolverine, but also because there was a lot of stuff that changed for this patch. A lot of shifts going on, and I did take 2 days off. So despite this tier list coming out a bit later than I normally do, I usually do it about a week after. Hopefully, because we waited, it'll be a bit more accurate. So here we go, Season 3, the first tier list of the new season. And starting off with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is a character that I wasn't sure about going in because I thought he could potentially go up in rank because of the buffs to res comp with Oh wait, hold up. Let's mute the Hulk grunting so this doesn't go on for 45 minutes. Got a bit of complaints last time. We'll fix that. Okay, so, but Adam Warlock, I actually think has gone down. The nerfs were more noticeable than I thought they'd be. 15 seconds on his res and Mantis' res, and I believe Star-Lord's res too. They're all their team-ups. I think he's worse now. I had him on A tier last patch. I'm going to bump him down, actually. I think he just gets outclassed by other healers. I do think there's places where he can pick Adam Warlock. Like, he can soulbond a lot of good alts like Thor, but Thor's not very good. Like, this is going to be a tier list based off high-ranked, like duo queue, trio queue, like high ranked, but not like in a straight competitive team environment. So your ability to carry in like a ranked environment as like an individual person, or maybe with like a duo. So that's kind of like what we're looking at, like high ranked solo queue style gameplay. Now, Black Panther is a character that a lot of people have been banning and complaining about and saying is just like totally overpowered. And you know what, to an extent, I think they're right. Like Ultron getting nerfed has helped him in the meta. But I think a lot of people are truthfully overreacting to BP, and a lot of it is just because of the lack of support players. So I think he is honestly a pretty good pick, but I think people are overreacting a bit just because of really just how few support players there are. I think with like a coordinated team and very aware support players can actually deal with Black Panther fine. But he is a demon either way, and most people are struggling with him. But with the rise of Thing, and there are ways to deal with him, and I really do think he's just kind of like a solo queue demon. And as tempting as it is to put him in somewhere like S because of how much he gets banned, I think the most I can put him in is A tier. There's still counter picks. You can still pick Ultron. Ultron's still not a bad pick. Flyers aren't a bad pick. Torch is still good. So there are ways to deal with him. There are counters, and I think that's going to land you right in A. That's what an A-tier hero is, a character that's really good, but, you know, can have issues carrying into the right matchups. So, BP, definitely the biggest winner of this patch, I would say, so far because of the meta shifts, even with Thing becoming more viable. So BP and A is where I'm going to put him. Now, Black Widow... I've had very strong opinions of about Black Widow. I've always thought she's a pretty solid character, but it's kind of like you can't really pick her into everything. And the cracked Black Widows are just deadly. I do think she's a decent character. I don't think she's just like bottom of the bottom. I think it's okay to have a Black Widow on your team. I've seen some ones carry games really hard, but there are counters to this. You could just pick like triple tanks and just tell your healers never to peek, pick a safe healer and stay back, and she really doesn't do much. So she's going to go right into C tier. I don't think she really needs buffs. It's more just like other DPS are more versatile and can do what she does like better in some ways. She's really good at one-tapping squishies from afar, but with proper positioning and good tank play, it's hard for Widows to really carry games, and she's really hit or miss. Either I see Widows do really good or really not much at all. So I think that means that's going to be a C tier character. Now Hulk. Well, we all know Hulk, guys. That's my boy here. Hulk has definitely seen some improvements this patch. Just based off of meta shifts alone, he hasn't received any direct buffs. The meta's just really favorable for Hulk, really. I mean, believe it or not, I thought Hulk was going to be a beneficiary of the flyer meta last patch. Hulk could not deal with that at all. Like, triple flyer. Yeah, Hulk can maybe land an air stun on 1 flyer, 2 flyers, but when it's like 3 just spamming damage at you, there's actually not a lot of room for mistakes as Hulk. And the flyer meta, he was actually struggling with to an extent. And really, I found that the best way to play Hulk, the more and more I kind of look around and see like what other people are doing and how other people are playing, is really just to play him as like a brawler, just frontline. So the removal of the flyer meta and the increase in dive characters like BP has actually bumped Hulk back up to like middle of A. Like he's a solid tank right now. He's a very good pick. You have to be good on him to outclass other tanks, but I mean, Hulk is a solid pick right now. He is definitely not bad. And you know who else is a solid pick despite the nerfs? Is Captain America. Now, Captain America and Hulk are very similar. I think Cap dives better than Hulk, but Hulk does everything else better. So really, these two are neck and neck. And I think while Cap's a little bit less versatile than Hulk, I do think he's more consistent in what he's trying to do. But I think you could probably pick Hulk a little bit more. These two are neck and neck. I think they're both like really close. I'll probably give the edge to Hulk just because I'm a little biased. But I think both these tanks are solid. I think Cap definitely has a place in the meta. He's definitely still viable. I've seen him install cart strats. His ult is super valuable right now with like just all the support ults going down. I think he's a very, very good pick. And speaking of support ults, this might be my first hot take. Cloak and Dagger's S tier. I haven't really looked at win rates for support heroes. I don't really care. Cloak and Dagger is just like an insane pick. Her ult is game-changing. The amount of games I've won or lost just because our team has a Cloak and Dagger or their team has a Cloak and Dagger, the other team doesn't, has like a rocket or something, is just, it's insane. Like her ult might be the best in the game right now. Might be the best in the game. I just think Cloak and Dagger outclasses the non-support ult support so much to the point where if you're playing anything other than, you know, the main supporty supports, you're probably trolling. Like, you're probably trolling a little bit. The supports, spoiler alert for this tier list, are going to be either very high or very low, which normally I have most of the supports pretty high. I think we've seen a pretty big shift with supports, just with support ults being as strong as they are, especially with like how dive is coming back and like heavy poke. So Cloak and Dagger's S tier. I don't care. I'm not going to look at win rates. I don't care. She's S tier, straight up. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is an amazing tank right now. I'm so tempted to put him in S right now. But if I really just compare him to other tanks, I just can't do it. He's at the top of A, though. He is such a good, versatile, consistent, strong pick. He's like Magneto for people who want to be flashy, almost. Like, he's like a... He's like a Magneto for people who like want to do higher APM. Like he's like Magneto for people with ADHD, dude, or whatever, ADD, all the things. He's Magneto. He's unmedicated. Doctor Strange is just like, I love having a Doctor Strange on my team. He's top A. He's so close to S. He's in such a good spot right now. I think they actually did overall a pretty good job with the buffs and nerfs they gave him. I think Strange is in a really good spot. I think no one will ever complain if a Strange is on your team. Compare well with Emma, compare well with Magneto, compare well with just about anything. He's just a solid shield tank. His shield is so valuable. Use it to block heals. His ult playmaking, portal. Honestly, the only thing I don't like about picking Strange is that you can't get an on-demand portal when you have one on your team. Weirdly enough, because now it's just become so commonplace that everybody's just like, okay, we're about to lose this fight. They're going to cap, so in portal. Well, if your Strange is still alive. But I've seen even good Stranges portal their team from the card while they're still alive. Like, portal... I've seen Stranges do some crazy stuff. Skill ceiling on this champ is crazy, and honestly, if you're a good Strange, he's an S-tier character. It's the only reason I'm putting him in A is because the other S-tier tanks are just way easier to play and way better. But Strange is like top A, borderline S. Now, this is a character that Groot... My opinion on him has changed drastically over just the last day or two, and it's another reason why I'm really glad I waited to do this tier list until I was for sure ready, which for this patch took me a little bit longer. I thought the nerfs were going to hurt Groot more. I thought in my mind, I'm like, oh, he'll just kind of stick around in A tier and kind of just be... That's where he'll stay. But I mean, with the rise of Moon Knight becoming better, with the rise of... With the nerfs to Emma, the nerfs weren't great on Emma, but Emma's a pretty good pick into Groot. With Wolverine just getting banned every game, which we'll talk about Wolverine, and all the flyers really kind of not getting knocked down a peg. I mean, Groot he's S tier. Like, straight up, he's just S tier. He's bottom of S. He's it's just so invaluable to be able to block heals on people on demand. He's just an insane pick. He's still so good just by his design. And the best part about Groot is I don't think he's overpowered. Like, maybe a little bit. Maybe his ult could be looked at, but I really don't think Groot is OP. I actually think he's in a pretty decent spot. Hot take, maybe. Some people think Groot's OP. He's oppressive. He's still very good, but he's not nearly as oppressive as he used to be. Obviously, his ult combo can, with so many different things, like Bucky, you see with the MRC teams, you see it with like Hela, you see it with like Moon Knight, everything. Super low barrier of execution and really high damage, high tankiness, just a ball of stats. Groot is a solid tanker in here. Now, one of the best you could have on your team. Solid S-tier character. Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye is a character that this one might be the first one everybody really disagrees with. I have been like back and forth on Hawkeye, man. I go from thinking this character is really OP to really not good. Hawkeye's win rate is some of the highest it's ever been. But weirdly enough, man, I just can't put him too high rank. I just can't do it because he's just too inconsistent. I actually just played with the rank 1 Hawkeye, allegedly. I didn't check to see if he was, but the rank 1 Hawkeye last night. And even when the bro got Hawkeye, yeah, he popped off, but it was like really hard to win games. And even though Hawkeye's win rate is in a pretty good spot, I think the highest I can put him is B tier. Just because of his consistency, it's hard. Like some games, your Hawkeye will just land a ton of headshots, be popping their supports. Other games, not so much. And the really good Hawkeyes, man, you can make this an A or S tier character, but I just see it so so infrequently. It kind of makes me think that he's really just too hard to play to be consistently good. I think Hawkeye is good. I think he's worth picking if you are good, but because of the lack of consistency and his susceptibility to dive, which is a little bit more common, I think I'm going to put him in B tier. Now, a DPS where I have no doubts about, Hela was already S, and then she got buffs again to her team-ups. Hela's S tier. I think she's above both these characters. As you guys know, I like to balance around each individual hero. I don't split it up to like all the tanks, all the healers, all the DPS. I like to measure each hero relative to other roles because I think it gives a more accurate representation of their power levels, and I think it keeps games in check when you look at power levels of heroes that they aren't too lopsided, meaning like healers are just objectively better than other characters, meaning you have to have 2 healers on your team. It does feel like that is how it is in Marvel Rivals, but you don't need 2 tanks, you don't need 2 DPS. Healers are really the only role you absolutely need. So generally, that tends to mean that healers probably, power budget-wise, are probably a little stronger than everything else, but that's not always what it means. Now, Hela is a character that I just feel like they go way too high in her power budget. She has just so many escape. Her ult's amazing. Like, dude, the team up is just so good. The team, like, good Helas are just abusing the hell out of it. She is like good defensive, good offensive. She's just insane. She can one-tap people. She has all the best parts about Hawkeye, but probably like almost better at killing stuff. And her ult's like, she's just insane. She's just an insane character. She's S plus if I could put it S plus. She's one of the best DPS in the game. You're never going to complain about having a Hela on your team. Okay, Iron Fist. Now, a lot of people, Iron Fist, I think, gets the strongest opinions out of any hero in the game. I think people are very opinionated about where this hero should go. Obviously, he's not in the best spot right now. But would I rather have a good Iron Fist on my team than a good Widow? Yes. Would I rather have a good Iron Fist on my team than a good Adam Warlock? It's pretty close. I don't think Iron Fist is bad right now. I think he's decent. I think he can carry games. I think really good Iron Fists are insane. There are counterplays to him, though, and he does have just less output than other characters, so it is just harder to carry. Even if you play well in Iron Fist, it's just harder to carry. I have a lot of respect for Iron Fist players. This character is very hard to play, knowing it's all about target swapping. It's about baiting out cooldowns. You have to have a high game IQ to play this character. But for the same reasons that Widow is in C tier, actually, I wouldn't say the same reasons. It's just like, even if you execute well on Iron Fist, you can't always carry as hard as other characters. So I definitely think he's above Widow. I think I'm going to put him in either B or C here. I'm willing to open up the chat for this one. This is the first one I'm kind of like iffy on. I don't think I can put Iron Fist in A. No shot. I think B or C is the way to go. I think he's still good. I think he can still carry games. His win rate's actually kind of insane right now. You know what? For the win rates, I am going to put him in B. I don't like the win rate watch too much, but I do think Iron Fist is pretty strong. And I do think he's like a noticeable step up from Widow most of the time. Iron Man. Now, Iron Man obviously got some nerfs. I still think he's just an invaluable character to have on your team. I think Iron Man's A tier. This might be a hot take. This might be crazy, but I just see Iron Man's force you to swap. It's like a game-breaking hero. I think Iron Man is really like straight up just like an A tier character. Like, would you rather have an Iron Man or an Iron Fist on your team? Probably an Iron Man, right? Like, the only reason I might consider bumping him down into B. I mean, he's a very consistent character. I think he goes bottom of A, and he gets bumped down a little bit. It's just because, you know, he does get countered by, like, popular meta picks. But, you know, in the same vein that Black Panther does, you know, if you get countered by it, you just swap, right? It's not, like, a huge deal. And that's what an A-tier character a lot of the times is going to be. Like, really good, can carry games hard, but, you know, you might have to swap. So I think Iron Man's good. Like, just the ability to remove the support alts, which pretty much everybody is running support alt supports. So, I mean, he is just a counter to really what a lot of the meta characters are. He's good, combos well with Groot. Just a solid pick. Solid A-tier, bottom A-tier character. Just rounds out a team comp better than, like, say, an Iron Fist or a Hawkeye does. So I think him going into A-tier makes sense. Now, this is going to be probably the first patch where I rank a support below B tier. You guys have known, I've always, like I said, I think support is overall like a more valuable role. I think it has come to a point where if I get a Jeff on my team, and by the way, guys, I play with a Jeff player. I've gotten to, let's see, with Coffee Cringe, we have gotten to top 1,500, top 1,000-ish. I've gotten to with a Jeff player. So I know what I'm talking about when I say that Jeff belongs in D tier. Because I play with one of the best Jeff players, in my opinion. I do think I've kind of like, if you guys know the arc I've had with Coffee Cringe, I've kind of like corrupted him. And Coffee used to be just amazing at Jeff alts, and the more he's played with him, the more his alts have just gotten worse and worse. But we've also gotten higher and higher rank. And I think that a bit of it maybe is like us trying to figure out our play styles. But I think a lot of it is just like a really good Jeff player now getting to like, I mean, he said it himself. He said like part of the reason we're getting this ranks is thanks to me, because I give him so much free healing charge and we had good synergy, right? But, you know, he started to struggle the higher rank we got. You can go check out some of, like, he's in a couple of, like, my videos if you want to go look and just see where he just, like, everybody's just ready for Jeff ult. Magneto ulted, Phoenix will ult it, and he'll just die and just totally waste his ult. And then you're just wishing, man, I wish we just had a guarantee and not just leaving it up to the Jeff every fight to make a sick play. Because that's really what it comes down to. If the Jeff can make a sick play and out-ult support ults, then he's obviously really good to have. But I think for Jeff, you want to pick him in some select triple healer comps and maybe really aggressive like dive comps where he can kind of play more frontline and heal. It's very niche. He's very hard to play. You're better off just picking another support. You'll get more value. That being said, I do think you can make Jeff work, but I just, whenever you have a Jeff on your team, most of the time it just feels like throwing. First D tier, first time I've ever had a support this low. And it's thanks to the Jeff rework, which I am not a fan of. Loki, still S tier. I don't really think I need to go over it. Loki is just, hasn't really budged from that spot. His ult charge, I think, got nerfed a little bit. It's not enough to really move him. He's probably the strongest support in the game. Might even be the strongest character in the game. I'd probably put Loki over Hela. It's pretty close. With Phoenix, though, Phoenix, like, soft counters him. It's tough to say. I'll probably put him above for now. Loki's just insane. I'd rather have a Loki on my team than Hela most of the time, just because this character is more easy to be consistent on. That being said, he does take some skill. Loki's an easy S tier. Luna, also, another easy S tier. I think she goes above Cloak and Dagger, but below Hela. I think Luna's a solid pick. The team up, man, makes her so annoying to kill. That little knockback she has. I just cannot stand playing against good Lunas. There's no reason she should have 275 health. I mean, they're basically giving her more health than the other healers just because they're trying to force her meta viability. I mean, that's really what it is. 25 health on a support with 250 health is so much more relative to like 25 health on a 700 health tank. So the NetEase devs know what they're doing. They're making this character stronger than the other characters because they want to push like their unique original character. Luna's OP. She's been OP for a while. They need to nerf the duration of her ult. They need to nerf her health. When they do that, she'll probably be in line with other characters. Until then, she's still S tier OP and really isn't going to be budging. Okay, Magic. So I actually, I'm just flexing. I play with the rank 1 Hawkeye. I played with the rank 1 Magic yesterday too. I don't know if the guy's like just playing on an alt account, but he's in Diamond 2 right now. And was definitely going through the solo queue struggles. He actually dropped in rating. So I don't know if that's a reflection of the player or the hero, but I think Magic is kind of like Widow in that she's really hit or miss. I think she's good though. Like, I do, but I just think... Bro, she gets countered by Penny, like, super hard, it feels like. And maybe I don't know the matchup, but she also gets countered by, like, the Thing. Probably harder than BPs do, because BPs, when they get knocked up, they can actually just, like, double jump out. Magic has to, like, waste her ability to do it. That being said, I'd still rather have her than a Widow. Dude, Iron Fist, like, honestly, Magic Iron Fist, it's pretty close, but if the rank 1 Magic right now I'm seeing is in, like, Diamond, even if it's an alt account... B might put her in C. That being said, like, again, if you're in B, you can still carry games. You're still viable. You're just gonna have a harder time. The rise of the Thing, which, I mean, honestly, I think if me ranking the Thing, I'll give this tier list a little more context. I'm gonna put her in B. Unfortunately, like, poke and long range damage is just like kind of the meta right now, and then BP to counter it, really. It feels like that's where everything's going. Magneto, I mean, they keep buffing this character, and I don't think people really mind it. He's the most balanced character in the game. He's just always going to be a good pick. No one's ever going to complain about playing against a Magneto, nor are they going to complain that a Magneto is on your team. He's probably the one character in this list that I think you can safely pick on just about any team comp. Magneto's just an easy S tier, one of the most balanced characters in the game. A shining example to all the other characters of what being balanced and S tier looks like. Just, they need to model all their heroes after Magneto. It's a character, yeah, that's a great Blinding Light, perfect. Everybody should learn Magneto. Everybody should learn how to play this character and get like a base level of competency on him, because he's just so useful and so valuable to have on any team. Just I can't say enough good things about Magneto. It's been meta since the start of the game. It's become increasingly more meta as players have gotten better with him. I also play with probably like the rank 1. We're just playing with everybody, dude. I play with a really good Magneto player. Bro's just insane at him. Just obviously solid pick. Now, okay, so Mantis definitely got buffed overall, but the nerf to the res honestly kind of sucks more than I thought it would, because res comp just doesn't feel that good. I definitely think Mantis is over Adam. Ooh, do I want to put Mantis high B or low A? You know what? I'm going to put her low A. I'm going to put Mantis low A. I think she can actually duo heal with the right setup. Kind of the same mentality as, like, you kind of need... Like, Mantis can pair well with Widow. I think, like, Hawkeye can work pretty well. She can heal tanks a lot better. You can run her duo heals, although I wouldn't recommend it still. Chat's saying B or C for Mantis. While I don't see a ton of Mantises, I don't think that means she's bad. Chat's saying that it's still not worth it to duo heal. I'm down with putting her in B. I'm kind of on the fence about A or B anyway. And I do think heals overall are pretty gapped. Mantis is probably a rare exception. I was leaning towards low A, but her ult is pretty bad. But I think, like... I just don't think there's a lot of good Mantises. And when you see good ones, they're so oppressive. They're so oppressive. I'll put it in B for chat. I'm down to bend a little bit here. At least we're pretty similar in our opinions. Moon Knight. Now this is an interesting one. This is a very interesting one. I see Moon Knights absolutely pop off in carry games. But it seems like people don't tend to counter him when you really should be. I personally like playing against Moon Knights. I think he's balanced. I am leaning towards B tier. I am leaning towards B tier. But would I rather have a Moon Knight than an Iron Fist and Magic on my team? I for sure would. I for sure would. I put Moon Knight, honestly, like, high B. In fact, so much so that I think I'm going to bump Magic down to C. Because I would, like, Moon Knight... I'm not saying Magic is bad, but he just fits more into comps and is just a more reliable character. I mean, Magic just can't deal with flyers really that well. Like, Moon Knight can just deal with more stuff. So, I am going to bump Magic down because of Moon Knight. Just randomly. I think Magic belongs in C. I'm going to put him at the top of B. Yeah, I like Moon Knight. You know what? I'm going to put him above Mantis, too. Yeah, I like this. Okay, Namor. Namor's S tier. He's bottom of S. The buffs to him are insane. I've been saying this for a while, that the Namor buffs mean that coming up, Hulk Gamma on Namor will be removed. Because they're buffing his gameplay through his basic attacks, which is like a core gameplay loop, right? Like, you're always spamming attacks. So that's a buff that is obviously not needed for Namor. Namor is already very good, right? It's not needed for him. But what it spells out for the future is that they're planning on taking away Gamma Squid. Obviously, Namor's power is going to go down a lot. So they're going to make him OP for this patch. One, because it's like he's about to get a big nerf. But also because when you're changing like a core part of his play, like his feel, like how he feels to play, his gameplay, you're going to want to do it earlier rather than later so players are used to it. So he's getting the attack speed. He's basically a hit scan character now. He's getting the attack speed on his spears. Good Namors, man, are just insane. They just pop off. They just carry games. I know S is looking a little deep right now, but don't worry. It's gonna spread out a bit more as we keep going here. Penny Parker. So Penny's Parker win rate is insane, but I think that's mainly due to people who like spec into the character. I feel like I've gone against a lot of the best Pennies. I've gone against like Eric Cartman and a few others, and the thing with Penny is like once you kind of figure out her tricks, she's really not that bad. She's what I like to call a knowledge check character. Her win rate's the highest in the game, but when a knowledge check character, once you learn the matchup, it's more about just playing around it properly. That being said, I think Penny is really, really good still. But do I want one on my team? Other than like certain checkpoints on certain maps? Nah, I really don't. So this might be a hot take for some people. She's either B or C to me. She's either B or C. She's pretty easily counterable, but she is very oppressive and forces people to swap. I think I'm going to put her in B, above Mantis, but below Moon Knight. I think, like I said, knowledge check character. So once you kind of figure her out, she's not too bad. And really, it's just about counterpicking and playing around her minds properly. I think the higher rank you go, the lower she'd go on this tier list. But I think for this, I'll put... Dude, I'm really not feeling B. I almost think C. But the team up is so good. The team up is so good. Yeah, we'll keep her B. Psylocke. I kind of want to put Psylocke in S. Yeah. I'm going to do it. Character's still OP. I'm not really going to give an explanation for Psylocke. She's just OP. I get hard countered by Punisher, and even I don't think Punisher is S tier anymore, by the way. I think Punisher's top of A. Hot take, chat? Question mark? I think Punisher's not that bad. He's not that bad to deal with. He's very good, don't get me wrong, but he's not that bad to deal with. The nerfs definitely help. Psylocke's way more impressive than Punisher. Punisher, I feel like I can play around. Psylocke, no. I'll put Punisher top A. As a Hulk player, he's deadly. Punisher can hard carry games. His ult is insane, but with like the prevalence of mag and, you know, dive, like he's a little susceptible to dive, you know, better poke. Like, there's a lot of ways you can deal with Punisher. He sucks to play against. It's not fun, but he's not that bad. You got ways to deal with him. More than you do a Psylocke, really. Rocket Raccoon has seen a big fall off because of Phoenix, the new hero. Huge fall off. What a fall from grace. When I see a Rocket on my team, unless Phoenix is banned and like the enemy team doesn't have double support ult, I don't want a Rocket on my team. Chat is dead. We had to put it in member only mode because we have a spammer. Yeah, I don't want a Rocket on my team most of the time. That being said, he is still like the most important support in the game because he's the support everybody plays when they just kind of want to fill. But it's at the point now where you're a liability being a Rocket. You're a liability picking Rocket. Like, obviously, he's still a very good character and gets guaranteed heals. A lot of value with revives. And I think good Rockets can track his ult well and like tempo with his ult. Meaning like knowing the ult charge of a Phoenix and using his ult when they know she doesn't have it and trying to get ult charge quickly. So as much as I want to put him in C, yep, Bitchy Jose, Bitchy Joe's, Beach, whatever. Bottom of B. This is the lowest I think I've ever had Rocket. Attempted to put him in C, but I just can't do it. Okay. So here we go, Wanda. If there's one DPS in the game that if they're on my team, I feel like we have a lower chance to win. Like just outright. Not even like even if I knew the player on the character was good, I'd say that character is Wanda. I'd say that character is Wanda. Okay. There is no character in the game that I would see on my team that got picked, even the Black Widow, where I thought to myself, man, I really wish they would play something else. Even if they have dive, you know, Wanda's good into dive, like Spider-Man or whatever. Spider-Man sucks. Even if they have, you know, like fat support ults with no CC where Wanda can just like one shot. You know, that's like the best value you'll get out of her, really. It's very specific and she's just so easy to counter. She just doesn't do enough damage. She's honestly kind of easy to kill. The nerfs to her little like floaty thing were honestly pretty huge. She's just honest. She feels balanced, but everything else just does so much more damage and is, you know, not that much harder to play. So yeah, they keep buffing her ult, but it's just not good enough. They keep increasing the movement speed. Dude, I land my stuns on that ult no problem still. In the same way that I feel about Wanda, I feel about Spider-Man, only slightly less. Yeah, I think Spider-Man's D tier. I got this totally wrong, by the way. I thought Spider-Man, I said he'd probably be pick banned, probably be A tier, which you do see him get banned sometimes. But I thought the new team up was gonna just be like this game-breaking new thing. Spider-Man combos are just gonna be crazy now. It really doesn't seem to help him that much. And really, the best way to play Spider-Man on most maps is just to only pick him when there's easy ledges, easy pull-offs. You know, like where ledges are nearby, like the Hell's Hydra map, where the checkpoint's right next to the lava pits, right? The Black Panther domination map and the I think it's Araco, the first checkpoint on Araco. Those are all really good spots for Spider-Man. Apart from that, though, like, dude, I do not want a Spider-Man on my team. I do not think that character's good. Squirrel Girl, I do think is actually kind of decent now. I do think Squirrel Girl, I've seen Squirrel Girls carry games. I think she's kind of like Moon Knight in that way. Like, she just kind of does a lot of damage. And she's very similar in design to Moon Knight, really. I think Squirrel Girl's just a solid B tier. She's like the Rocket of DPS, almost. Like, she's just kind of, like, easy to play, does a lot of damage. You can outplay her, you can dive her, you can avoid her. But I think she's right there with Moon Knight. She's very similar to Moon Knight. I think she kind of has a similar place in the meta. She has more of, like, a just random kill potential, whereas Moon Knight's like team wipe with his ult. They're similar but different. I think yeah, map dependent. I agree with that. I think Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight up. Do I want to put her above? I think Moon Knight's just a little bit. Chat's saying A tier. I don't think she's A tier. I might have Iron Man a little high, but I think B is where she goes. I do think you can dive Squirrel Girl. I do see. I'm starting to see some good ones, but she's still not that hard to deal with. And the squirrels, if you just shoot them, they're not that bad. She can kill through support ults at certain maps, which is crazy. But I think good players are know how to watch out for that stuff. Yeah, the team up's not the greatest, but okay, we have Star-Lord here. So we've talked a lot about Res Comp. I think Res Comp took a hit. Star-Lord is like really high skill ceiling. Like he's actually pretty hard to play. I have a lot of respect for Star-Lord players. You have to have a lot of aggression, confidence to just dive a team with not a lot of health. I think he's pretty good though. I think he can still carry. I just think he's like bottom. I was leaning B or high B or low A. Chat's kind of saying the same thing. The DPS characters I'm a little less sure about since I don't play most of them, but I mean, I do see Star-Lords do decent, but do they have the same impact? I mean, when the Star-Lord knows how to ult, the good ones, you can see them have a pretty decent impact. I do think they're a little bit above Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight, but he is harder to play. Bro, I don't know. I think Star-Lord might be B. Chat's saying A. I think he's B. I don't think Res Comp is very good. I don't even think you pick him in Res Comp. Like maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see it. I don't see Res Comp a ton. I'm gonna put him in high B. I'm just going with my gut from what I've seen. If I don't see Res Comp, that usually means it's probably not the best. This might be a hot take. Storm is S. She is just insane. I don't care what anyone says. Actually, Storm is like... Cloak and Dagger's like right here. Storm is... Yeah, I like Storm right here. Storm is just like guaranteed insane value. I think Storm is just so strong right now. I see Storms always do well. I never see Storms do bad. Nah, chat's saying A. I disagree. I've seen so many Storms carry a game with the Jeff team up. Taking a character that's dog shit, worthless on your team, and then actually making him useful. Actually making Jeff valuable. That's not a Jeff perk. That's a Storm. Like that's a Storm thing that she's doing. So just 5 or 10% of your games, you just go from like auto loss to like, okay, we have a Storm, so we just win. Like, you can't underestimate that. Just how she is in like the ranked meta. You can't underestimate that. That's why she wins so much. Just guaranteed value. She's hard to kill. Good movement speed. Good damage. Good ult tempo. She's just a solo queue demon. She can carry games on her own and just has insane team utility. She's just a great all-around hero. And the only way you can shut her down is by playing like a better hero and being good at the game. If that's your only counter, yeah, you're gonna get pretty high rank play. Like you just one-tricking it. Like I think she's insane. Maybe I have her a little too high, but I think this character needs to be looked at personally. I think this character needs to be looked at and reworked slightly. That being said, just remember, a lot of the characters in S tier, I am presuming that you're actually like good at them, okay? I just think the passive value she gives to teams means you don't even have to really be that good on her to be this rank. Like to be high rank. You kind of just get it for free. It's like she's like Rocket in that regard. Like just having a Rocket on your team is going to give you more wins. So, she maybe doesn't solo carry as hard as some of these other heroes, but I don't know. I just think she's so good. This might be a little high, but this is just what I'm kind of feeling. You know what? I'll put her below Namor. Everybody's saying A, but I just think I just think this is where she goes. Thor, bro. The only reason I'm gonna put Thor in C tier is because I see him carry games. But bro, I generally not a huge fan of having Thors on my team. And they're kind of off doing their own thing and just trying to find value in the way they can. I'm really tempted to put Thor in D. But would I rather have him more than a Widow? I probably would. I think most Thors are actually decent. He's definitely the worst tank in the game because he's not really even a tank. I think they should just buff his tankiness. I saw someone suggest a change that they make his Lightning Realm give shield while in it and block projectiles. I think that's an awesome idea. But, I mean, you could just give him his tankiness back and have him keep his identity. So, I think, I think Thor belongs in C, and that's... I don't think you can really make an argument for him being higher ranked than that. DPS disguised as a tank? Yeah, exactly. Venom is also someone who I think has fallen off pretty hard. That being said, I do see Venoms, the good ones, just really get active and be aggressive and are always kind of, like, impactful. I think Venom is just kind of like a solid tank. I think he's good. I think he's better than Penny. I'd probably put Venom, like high B, honestly. I'd put him above Star-Lord. Easy to get value from, easy to be effective on. I think he's a good character, and most Venoms I see at least do something. A lot of them just kind of jump in and feed ult charge, but even then, it's like you're taking a lot of... He just gets guaranteed value because of how tanky he is. No shot, he's high B. You don't think he's... you guys think he's mid B? I mean... He struggles with some, like, popular characters, like Emma and stuff, but Emma killed Venom. Yeah, and I think Emma will still see more nerfs, but I still think the good Venoms... I think there are a lot of bad Venoms, is partially my reasoning for this. And when I see a good one, I'm just like, damn. Like, we actually can't do anything. They're comp dependent. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, too. Yeah, Venom, you gotta kind of play with other dive. I think he's a solid tank, though. I think that's where he goes. Bucky is, like, sleeper OP right now. Bucky is low-key just flying under the radar, and everybody's missing it. But, like, Bucky... Yo, I think he's actually pretty good. I think Bucky is, like, secretly pretty strong right now. This might be a little bit of my Hulk bias coming in. Yo, this character... I see picked so often right now. Combos really well with, like, Groot. He combos well with, like, he's good into dive. He's just, like, a very consistent, like, all-around good character. I think he's, like, mid, maybe even, like, high A. He's just so, reliable. Just the CC he has. I almost want to put him over BP, but I'm not going to. He's one of those characters who's just like, you never really feel bad about having a Bucky on your team. The reason someone like, say, Psylocke is higher is just, I think Psylocke has the potential to carry games harder. Really. I mean, just Psylocke can harass your backline harder. She just has, like, more ways to play. And the good Psylocks can really take advantage of that. Like a character like Storm, for instance, who I think is probably easier to play than Bucky, but just gets more passive value for free. But the good Buckies, man, oh my god. They're like... They make this character an easy S tier. But you gotta remember, again, this isn't for the highest levels of play, guys. You gotta remember that. This is for, like, This is for, like, high-level ranked, but we're not talking, like, tournament gameplay, where the players, like, don't miss, where Star-Lord would probably be, like, A or S, maybe, right? This is for, like, the average to above average to, like, really good player. It's, like, around that area, right? So just remember that with the ranking. So Bucky... Another character where I think if you're really good at him, could just super carry games. I think his skill ceiling's very high. A lot of respect for Bucky players, too. I think this is where he lands. Wolverine. I mean, it's kind of tough to say where Wolverine goes because he's just banned all the time. And this is partially why my tier list took longer, because then they made Wolverine changes, and I wasn't sure where to put him. I think Wolverine is still S, guys. I think he's still S. I think he's still S. Any character that you can put in the game that basically forces people to change their comp, I'm sorry, that character's just going to be kind of guaranteed OP. You can, okay, pick one character, and a third of the people on the enemy team are now countered. I'm sorry, that's just too powerful of like a design mechanic. But and he can one-shot your squishies with like good Wolverine. Like, bro, this character is busted, bro. He's busted, and it's not. I don't think he's that hard to play. I don't think he's that hard. Like, I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong with that. And like the kidnaps, man. I mean, I don't even see him get Phoenix because she's banned so much. But if you do, it's like GG, you lose, I guess. Like, that's how good he is. So it's just like, yeah, you can't say he's not S just because he gets banned. That's why he's S. You got to remember that, chat. Mr. Fantastic. But yeah, what a fall from grace. Low-key, I don't think Mr. Fantastic's that good. I don't think he's that good. I think Mr. Fantastic has fallen off hard. That nerf hurt more than people thought because his tankiness form, his passive form, is actually, like, pretty important, but also the most exposed he is. It's easiest to kill Mr. Fantastic when he is in his passive form. Oh, and that got nerfed. 50 health was a lot. And also, meta isn't, like, fantastic for him. Yeah, dude, Mr. Fantastic, and like Hawkeye, like, a lot of these characters kind of just farm him, bro. He's kind of just Mr. Okay now. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, so chat might not like me for this. Invis is still S, guys. She's still S. Invis is still S. She's... You can't say that just because a lot of people don't play this character to her full potential, and she is hard to play, that she's not just, like, completely giga-busted. I mean, Bucky lands an A kind of for that reason, but I think Invis is just that strong to where, like, even though she is hard to play like a Bucky...
The Thong's new team up?
Her ult's not amazing, but it's still game-changing, and you'd rather have an Invis ult than most of the ults in the game. She's... A well-played Invis just carries games, man. Most Invises I don't think are very good. The Thing. The Thing is a character I misread a little bit. I thought The Thing would be just, like, guaranteed S tier. Turns out he's a lot better now, but still has some of the same struggles. Emma's pretty annoying, and really, the jump to opponents, you don't use a ton because it's a pretty long cooldown, and it's very situational. A lot of times you need to use your dash as an escape. I do think Thing is slightly better than Hulk most of the time, but pretty similar to him in power levels. I'm going to put him just, like, mid to high A. I think Thing is pretty good, though. And I think probably I'll put him above BP for the counter, really. I mean, I think Thing is a solid pick. I think a lot of things play him not well and still kind of make him work. He kind of just tanks a lot of damage and does a lot of damage. He's just a solid character. And the ones that are really good who kind of do, like, these flank plays with his knockups, do a lot of cool things with them. That I have kind of, like, lost my way with a little bit. Like, I don't do that as much on him. I kind of just frontline on him, but I could probably be more creative with them. And just the ability to kill flyers now is just so good. He's really good at killing flyers if you got the combos. Yeah, middle A. I think that's a good place to put him. Thing is really good. Torch. This character is still OP. Still very, very... Yeah, that's where Torch is going to go. Torch is making a generational run right now of just being, like, just creeping higher and higher. Even though all along I said this character was OP. My initial take on Torch was like, I'll put him in A, but really he's S. Go look at my older, like patches ago. I'm like, Torch, people are going to figure out this character is just like, you know, character's just like so insane. Just carries so hard, just so much damage. Just does more damage for free than all the other characters. Super hard to hit. He's like faster than other flyers. It's like, and then he has assassination potential on top of that. Oh yeah, what's up, Gallus? Torch is just nuts, dude. He's just too good. I think he's second best DPS in the game. Yeah, that's where I'm going to put him. Second best. Too good, man. Okay, Emma. Sorry, guys. Emma nerfs weren't enough. And yeah, you know, where I said most of my bias isn't going to seep in here. Yeah, my bias is going to seep in on Emma. This character's still busted. She's right next to Magneto. I don't care. And, you know, I rank these, like, individualistically, not based off a role. So, like, each character is measured against each other. Yeah, she's just top S tier. If you have an Emma on your team, you kind of just win. You know what? I'm going to put her above Mag. That's how much I hate Emma. No, we do not love Emma. Emma's the best character in the game. Still. I'm sorry. It just is. That's where she goes. The nerfs weren't enough. Nerf this hero into the ground. This character single-handedly, like, knocks Thing down a tier, knocks Hulk, like, a cat, like just ruins the game for everybody else. Nobody likes Emma. Honestly, I'm gonna curse, and I'm gonna have to edit this part out, so I'm about to, like, find this part of the video. Fuck Emma, dude. Fuck Emma. Ultron's kind of ass now. See? Still good, though. Still good. He's not a bad character. I still see Ultron comps carry, but he's very situational. You pick Ultron when a team has, like, heavy dive, and you force them to swap to hit scan and make them be better than you. That's, like, realistically, that's the purpose of Ultron right now. That right there. What I just said. That exact situation. Anything other than that's like, okay, if you're good on Ultron, pick them, but you're probably going to be a liability to your team. Again, this is like more of a solo queue environment. Ultron is super situational in that kind of setting. So, Phoenix, she's just below Johnny. This character's broken. Broken on release. Super busted. Way too much damage. Pretty much knocks Rocket. I mean, Rocket really should be C because of this character. But like, again, solo queue mindset. Like, people just pick Rocket to... You guys think Iron Fist should be C? Is Iron Fist too high? This is pretty much the tier list, I think. Should put Ultron right under Hawkeye? Nah, he's too situational. You have to pick him in 3 healers. That alone in, like, a ranked environment is a huge ask. Iron Fist C. I just think Iron Fist is more of, like, a solo queue character. So I think B is, like, pretty good for him. He can still kind of carry that way. You think Cloak is too high? How is Emma S? There's no way. Emma's the only character I say I might be a little biased on. I try to make these tier lists as accurate as possible for you guys. She completely dictates the meta of the game. I don't know how you can't say that's, like, the top of S tier character. Emma, like, single-handedly just controls the meta. With her introduction... Brawl is just died. How can you not put her as the most impactful hero in the game? She's like the best character. She basically forces you into a particular playstyle just by existing. Oh, and she does carry-like damage, has a team wipe ult. So that counters like all the other ults. Like Star-Lord gets knocked out of the meta because of her. Like so many. She belongs. She's the best character in the game. Emma is the best character. I'm sorry, she just is. Mag is more versatile, but Emma's just so, like, blatantly strong. She's just the best character. She controls the meta. Does Iron Fist control the meta? No, but he can carry in it, kinda. Maybe if Emma's not around. So he gets not, like, all these characters. If she just got removed from the game, I just took her off, right? Or if she's D tier, like this, everything shifts. So that's the Emma logic, okay? So... yeah, I like how this is. This is my tier list, guys. I mean, honestly, I could put Widow higher for the same logic as Iron Fist, but she's like so much harder to play and like more counterable, right? So this is more of like a ranked solo queue kind of tier list. I was a little late on it, but I had to figure some things out and kind of get a feel for everything. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I got it right. Let me know if I got it wrong. Yeah, maybe my Iron Man's a little high. Maybe my Iron Fist's a little high, but yeah, no, I feel pretty good about this. You know what, Groot might be a little high. Let me make a last minute switcheroo here. We'll do Groot right there. Last minute. But yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to Hulk smash that like button, Hulk smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.